Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan, and typically I make teacher videos, but you have come across my wedding series and I'm so excited for you to join me on this journey. Today I'm sharing all about the different venues that my fiance and I have visited. Yay! Alright, so to get started, I just wanted to tell you guys that we were mostly looking for places that had rooms that were very, very close to the venue. So, i.e. a hotel. And the reason for that is because I have family members that are flying in and I just want them to be comfortable, as well as all my other family members to just be in one place and comfortable and happy and all of that stuff. So I have lots of video from the different venues that I visited. I definitely got more comfortable as I was visiting places. So the first place, which gave this folder to us, was one that I just didn't even think about filming. It was beautiful. It was probably a top runner for a while, and it was just gorgeous. Yeah, it was a really beautiful place. I just took a couple pictures and I'll insert those for you guys to see. And it was just a gorgeous, gorgeous barn that was about 25 minutes north of my fiance's parents' house. So when we were up there one weekend, we went to visit and it was gorgeous. One of the downsides though is that the price was really, really high, and that was kind of a hard sell for us because that's all you got. There wasn't really many places to stay nearby, and there were just a lot of logistic things, like you had to get out by 11:30 and things like that. So I'm going to tell you pros and cons of everything, but it was really gorgeous and we really loved it. So then the next place was a hotel, and the reason I did this one was just because it was really, I don't know, it looked really beautiful in the pictures. It was a hotel and a conference center, and I was just really, really excited. So I don't show this in the videos, but when you drove up, it was this long driveway and lots of parking. It was very beautiful when you drove up. And then we get into going inside. So they had this huge fireplace, and I don't show it very well in the video, but it was just this double-decker fireplace that was gorgeous, and that was one of the ceremony indoor locations that you could get married at, and it was just really pretty. One of the downsides is that we went on a Tuesday at night, so we didn't really get to see the place when it was light out, so that was a really hard thing to think about, because it was like, it could have been so much better if we would have just gone during the day. So that was one of the hard parts about that. But we walked around and I definitely was feeling a lot more comfortable filming and things like that. So that was a good option. The lady was nice and she gave me 2 wedding magazines. So Minnesota Bride Weddings, and this one, which has the Knot logo, which I was talking about in my last video, and that was really nice. I haven't really looked through them. I probably will as we get closer to the event, but that was really nice to get some free little magazines and stuff. And this is the folder for this place. It's called Oakridge. Pretty, pretty place. Their menu looked really delicious, and if you remember from my last video, I was talking about how we really want these grilled cheese hors d'oeuvres, and they had them. So I was immediately like, oh my gosh, like this is exciting. This place was pretty good. They had some nice different options you could do based on your budget. And they had some outdoor ceremony locations and indoor reception locations that were each beautiful and different in their own ways. And one of the biggest cons about this place was that they had a food minimum, so that was kind of hard to imagine trying to reach that with the amount of guests we had. So that was something that we had to think a lot about. But again, it was kind of hard though because we didn't get to see anything during the day, which I think made a big difference at some of the other locations. So other than that, we got to see a couple different rooms, and overall we had mixed feelings about it. When I first walked in, I was like, I don't know how you're gonna sell me on this. But as we kind of saw the different features and the different rooms that you would get and complimentary things, it started to become more of a sell to me. My fiance didn't agree, and so we kind of walked out with mixed feelings about it. I also wanted to mention that all of these places were ones that I found on the Knot, and just places that I was searching through pictures and they looked really beautiful to me. So I have no affiliation with them, or I'm not sharing their information for any reason. But if you're in the Minnesota area and you're looking to plan a wedding, this might be helpful for you. But if you're not, then I hope you're just enjoying my thought process through this. So the next one was called St. James. It was about a 45-minute drive down south, and this was a really beautiful place. It just had so many qualities that were really nice and gorgeous. It was just this older hotel, and it had this amazing room with these basically floor-to-ceiling windows, and I just walked in and I was like, wow, I don't know, watch this. So this is the summit. This is our largest venue, and this is the one that we could do your ceremony and reception in.
Jeez, I got
So, yeah, you can see, like, I was just like, oh my gosh, and the view out the window was just overlooking the river and some old railroad tracks, and it was gorgeous. And then they left you.
It's kind of nice, like it's just like the train tracks over there, and then it's just like the water.
One of the cons was that, again, it's kind of pricey, and just the food wasn't exactly my cup of tea either. So there were just some different things that didn't exactly serve the purposes that we wanted, but we loved it. You know, I'm talking about cons, but like, we loved this place. It was amazing. There were so many amazing qualities about it. The tour guide was awesome and funny, and it was just a really great experience that overall made us really happy. This was the little design of the tables that she gave us, and the bar was really pretty. They had a downstairs historic wing, and it was just gorgeous. I mean, I looked up at the ceiling and it was beautiful. I just can't even believe how pretty this place was. So yeah, it was just really pretty. I mean, it helps as opposed to Oakridge that this place had a wedding going on that weekend, so we did get to see what it would be like when we got married there. So I guess it's not very fair to compare the two, but I mean, it was really beautiful and we were super happy with it. My fiance said that he would even enjoy living in that town. So yeah, that's kind of what that one was all about. And I mean, just some of these like pictures and stuff and the view you could see inside was really spectacular. And then, so the next one, it was Crystal Lake, and it was a golf course that a friend of mine who was marrying, who now married, this guy from Australia, they got married at this golf course, and I mean, maybe I shouldn't have assumed that it could have been in Australia, but it was here, and it was really cool to think like that it could have been in a different place. So that part to me is just like really cool to think about. I also saw when the lady sent me the pricing that it was much cheaper than a lot of the places I had seen. So I definitely wanted a tour and just to check it out. One of the main things I noticed when I got there was that the carpets were hideous. I cannot believe that a place that has regular weddings would have such a disgusting carpet. Like, and it's not disgusting in like that it was dirty. It was pretty clean. Just the color I just did not enjoy. You can't tell from the video, but yeah. Otherwise, it was really beautiful. They had these, again, floor-to-ceiling windows, and they had a little deck on the outside that people could use, and they had a fire pit, and it was just a really nice place for a reception. There weren't very many hotels nearby, but I'm sure that you can easily get a shuttle to and from this place because people get married there, so they have to have something to kind of figure that out. The lady said she'd be really flexible with our meal choices, so if we didn't want mushrooms in a meal or we wanted those specific hors d'oeuvres, that she would make that happen. That was really cool, and just some of the features that they had there, especially with the cost of like the comparison, it was just really cool and awesome. So that was that one, Crystal Lake. And then I don't have the information that we were given, but we also made an impromptu stop at a place called Manhattan Beach Lodge. And it was just this little like cabin-y thing that my fiance's mom had told us and recommended to go check out. And actually we were up there to go visit this place called Pine Peaks Wedding and Event Center, and we had some time to kill, and we happened to be driving by this Manhattan Beach Lodge, and we had to go check it out. So we really enjoyed it. Actually, it was really cool. I mean, for an impromptu stop and a tour by the lady at the front desk, it was just like really awesome. It smelled amazing in there. She showed us rooms. She like walked us all around to show us where the reception dinner would be, where the bar was, just all different things like that. And then we got to walk outside, and they had this beautiful little arbor, and she even said you could have a wedding on the beach, which we were like, not only is it up north and like Minnesota food, but a beach wedding too would be amazing. Oh my gosh, like I'm just picturing it now, how awesome that would be. Like a beach wedding in Minnesota would be so cool. And yeah, it was a really cool little stop. We didn't get the pricing on it during that time, so I don't know the numbers of that. it was just a really cool little impromptu stop that we were really impressed with. And then the last one that we've visited so far is Pine Peaks Wedding and Event Center, and this was one of the first things that was given to me, but I'll go into that in a little bit. So when we first arrived, it was actually the night before, Friday night, and the reason we arrived the night before is because this place is pretty far away. It's like a 3.5-hour drive from our houses, so that part was kind of tough, but we were just chatting on the way up and it wasn't really a problem. And then we got a free or complimentary hotel that night, which was really cool. None of the other places, even the hotels, didn't offer something like that, so we were really impressed. And when we got there, we also got a complimentary bottle of wine, and it was just really awesome that we were already being taken care of. That morning, we got a complimentary breakfast that the hotel offers, though. And then, but rewind. So when we went to go stay in the hotel the night before, we actually accidentally drove up to the event center. So they're in two different places, but it's like a 10-minute drive, not that much farther. And all of the fence was lit up with lights. I wish I would have gotten a video because it was just like so beautiful driving up, and it was just magical, and it was really cool. So yeah, that was really something that I wanted to mention. But anyway, so fast forward, then we get there and we're walking up, and it's really pretty so far. We're really impressed. So the reason he gives me this is because at this venue, they have decorations for their parties, for the people that come in to use. So this is all the different options for a table setting area. So I was really eyeing up like this color and maybe like this color. Of course, you know, we have the white, and that was about the colors that I liked. White, sorry, that was ivory, but so yeah, a really handy little guide for us. And then so he walked us into the ballroom area, and I'll show you a little clip from that. So here it is. I was just really impressed. I posted this on my Instagram because it was just like, we hadn't even walked in yet, and I was like, yes, this is so beautiful. And it totally reminded me of the vibe of the Creekside Farm. Again, you guys didn't really get to see that, but that's kind of the vibe I got from it. So this was the, why can't I think of it? The folder that they gave us, and just tons, I mean, you know, tons of information that he gave us. Just, he was so passionate and was really trying his hardest to do all these different things to make it worthwhile for us to drive that far. So this part just gets a little bit wordy, so I thought I'd just re-record over it as I'm editing. I'm just showing some different items that we were given. So this part was really important because it showed the whole layout of this place. So that is the guest house, and that's where we would stay. It's a short walk over to the event center where the ceremony reception would be, and there's ample parking for all the guests. There's a big field in the back to park or take pictures and all of that stuff. And then they have a nice ceremony location called the Double Cross over here. And yeah, this was just a really nice way to see the whole layout of the land that we would have for those days. Oh, here's that little guest house, so you can have a little peek at that because I don't have that in the video. But yeah, I don't know, we just walked around, we saw the different things. Some of the cool things, pros that he told us, was that they allow you to have your rehearsal dinner there, and you can have your own food, your own cater, your own alcohol. All the stuff is all you, and you get to decide that stuff. And then the next thing was that you can bring in your own hors d'oeuvres and desserts. So you can just make them at your house and bring them if you want. You can get them from a licensed bakery or whatever, but you can also make them. So that was really cool. Some of the cons that I noticed was that, I mean, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So that part, you know, that long drive to get up there, especially for my family members who have to travel on the plane already, and then they have to sit in the car for a few hours. That's gonna be a long trip for them, and just different things like that that make it kind of tough for family members who are flying in. Anyways, I really want to talk more about the venue, but I do want to make a separate video just talking about like the different costs and kind of getting more into how we are making our final decision on which venue we want. If you feel like you have a guess, I would love for you guys to guess which one you think it is. Just because I think that's kind of fun. And I was trying not to make it sway too much or not enough to one or the other, but yeah, there is one that we walked out and we're like, this is the one. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna share with you guys for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna save some footage for the next video when I talk about the costs of these different venues and kind of just going more into the pros and cons of that kind of stuff too. So I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one when I continue talking about the venues. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.